Hi everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to Board on the Floor. Today I wanted to go through and show you the rules and some gameplay for Under Falling Skies. It's a one-player game of dice management. It's actually the only game in my collection right now that's for one person and one person only. The rules are pretty straightforward, but mastering the game is where it gets a little bit complicated. I've been playing it for a couple of weeks and I don't win that often. I actually find it's quite challenging within just the basic game. So the way I have it set up here, I think, is the easy setting where it's just to learn the game. But if you flip over each of these tiles, you could see that on the opposite side, it starts to get a bit more complicated. There's also the option to have your town be destroyed if you just flip it around here. I'm still playing it on the basic setting that they suggest to kind of learn the game. And once you get through that and you kind of have a good understanding of the rules and the strategies needed to kind of defeat the aliens, that's when you could actually start going into the campaign. Inside this box is included a complete campaign for this game, where you actually play as different cities throughout the world, trying to fight different factions of these aliens as they're coming down to invade our planet. I haven't even taken a look at the campaign yet because I haven't mastered the basic game. I'm slowly starting to understand the strategy of being able to defeat these aliens time and time again, but there's a lot of luck to it because it is a dice roller. So I'll introduce the basic rules and then I'll go through an entire game, which should take about 20 to 30 minutes. Once I get a few more games under my belt that I win, I'm going to probably move on to the campaign and then I'll do a new video and show you how that one plays out. To start off, let's just set up our board. Now they suggest you take Roswell as our first city. You'll notice on the Roswell tile, there's an A and B symbol on the right side here. It indicates which boards you should be using for your home base. So here we have the A and here we have the B. And then we set up the rest of the board, starting from the lightest tile to the darkest tile in regards to the sky. And up here we have our mothership with the 5 purple spaceships. We'll keep our white spaceships off to the side because they will only come into play as the mothership starts to move down the board. We also have our 5 dice. There's going to be 2 white dice and 3 gray dice. There's also 2 blue dice in the box, but let's leave them in there for now. We also have an orange spaceship that's going to be left in the box because it's not needed for this version of the game. And so on the board, you'll notice a few different areas. Down here, this yellow section is our energy track. We start with our marker on number 2. On the right side here, we actually have our health. We start that on the top. If this marker makes it down to the bottom, we lose. Over here, we have the research track. This is how we could win the game. We have to get this green marker all the way up to the top in order to do enough research to defeat the aliens. And on the right here, you'll see different icons that will occur each time the mothership moves down the board towards our home base. And if it ever gets to this area here, we also lose. There's actually 2 ways for the aliens to win. The mothership can get down to this level, or we could get enough damage that we actually have no more health left. 1 way for us to win, 2 ways for the aliens to win. And also throughout the board, you'll notice different little symbols to either indicate that a ship will move to the left or right. Here, it'll force the mothership to move down during our turn. And if one of the spaceship lands on this last symbol here, this is where we could actually attack and destroy the spaceships. You'll also notice down here this little orange wooden token. This is our excavator. To start off, we just have these first 2 rows of rooms that we're allowed to use. But we could also place dice further below to make the excavator move so that we could dig out all of these rooms and start to use them, because in order to win, you will need some of the rooms further down. During each round, we're going to go through 3 phases. There's the dice phase, there's the room phase, and then there's the mothership phase. During the dice phase, we roll our dice, we place them in certain rooms, and each time you place a die within that specific column, the number on the die will indicate how many spaces each ship will move down. Then we move on to the room phase, where we resolve the effect of the room we've actually placed our die in. And in the final phase, the mothership will move down 1 row. And if there's an action on the right, it'll perform that action. But if not, it'll just collect any ships that happen to be on that row. Let's get to the gameplay, and as I go along, I'll show other rules that are important. First thing we have to do in a dice management game is roll some dice. All right, I got a 6, 2 5s, a 3, and a 1. As we start to place dice in the different rooms, if we place a white die, what that means is we have to re-roll all the other dice. So depending on the strategy you're using, you might want to save them for last. My strategy right now is going to be I'm going to randomly put them wherever and try and just move the game forward as fast as possible, and that's going to be my excuse when I lose. You don't have to place a die in an actual room, you could also place it on a path. And then the way it works is because I have the number 3 here, I will move this ship down 3 rows. If I put any of my dice in this top row here, it's the number -1. So if I didn't want anything to move, I could always put a 1 here and none of those ships will move down at all. Now, if you get certain high numbers that you don't really want to work with, you could use that white die, stick it somewhere where a ship won't move whatsoever, and then re-roll the other 3. Not so bad. I'm going to try and blow up some of these ships, but because I put another white die there, I have to re-roll these 2. So with the dice phase done, I have to move on to the room phase. And so to resolve the rooms, I take a look at this first row. Nothing really gets resolved there. This one's on a path. Nothing gets resolved there. But this one, I'm going to move this off just so you can see some of the symbols in the room. So you'll notice there's a -1. So instead of this being a 4, it'll be a 3 to resolve the room, not to actually move the ship down. You'll also notice here it has a cost of 1 energy. So this lightning symbol indicates that in order to use this room, it's going to cost us 1 energy. So now any spot that has this kind of explosion symbol that is 3 or lower. So this one is a 2, this one is a 1. If we happen to have a ship on this one here, it wouldn't count. But these 2 ships end up being destroyed and they move back onto the mothership. So that is all I've done in this round in regards to where I've placed the dice and how I've resolved the rooms. Take my dice back, and now it's the turn of the mothership to move down. It moves down 1 row. And you'll notice here the action is a white ship appears. So this white ship will go back into the main area of the mothership. And at the end of the mothership phase, all of our ships become ready to launch once again. And the way it works is any empty row, the purple ships go first, and then the white ships will be next. And they'll usually go in if the row is empty or wherever the spaceship is furthest away. So now we start all over again. Now in this turn, I'm going to try and move my excavator down a bit. So I'm going to take this 5. The way it works with the excavator when you want to move it, you actually have to have a number of dice moves away. So if I want to move the excavator 5, this dice would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots away. But that also means that this ship here is now going to move down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The yellow rooms here allow me to get more energy. So whatever number die is in that room, that's the amount of energy I will get. The green rooms are for research. So the number on the die in the green room will indicate if I can move up the research path or not. And the way it works with the research path is the number has to be on a single die. So if I happen to have a 2 in one room and a 1 in the other one, it doesn't count as a 3. I actually have to have a 3 or higher. But if I had a 4, it would count as these 2 rows. So I can move the research token up at least 2. It'll start to make more sense as I go through it and I place different dice. So we got our excavator moving. We're also going to make sure that some of those ships don't move down. Maybe even in the row that has 2. So let's put that up here. So it goes to 0. Put this one here too. Make sure that one doesn't move. Then I got to re-roll these guys. Oh, worse. What I could do is I could do some research here with the 4. And then maybe I'll put the 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That shifts over. Ooh. Now I'm going to put the 6 here, which makes it a 5, and it moves these 2 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shifts over to this row. And then this one goes down 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you place dice, you got to be careful because you might start moving ships in and out of columns, and it'll give the enemy a bit more of an advantage if 2 ships have to move instead of 1. On to the room phase, and let's see what we got. The first thing I'm going to do is, one thing I didn't pay attention to is I don't have enough energy to excavate and resolve this research room. Excavating costs 1, and this research room, if I take a look, it actually costs 2. So what I should have done this round is try to get a bit more energy, but I didn't. And so it's kind of a throwaway round. I'm just going to spend my 1 energy and excavate so that I could actually move this guy over to here. And everything else is a write-off. Mothership's going to move down. And you'll notice here, the mothership action is to move my excavator back 2. So this guy goes back up here. I already feel like I'm off to a bad start. Okay. The excavator actually has to at least get down to this area so that you can have access to these double research rooms, because there's no other way to get an 11 other than by using 2 dice. So if you don't do that, you're never going to win. So let's keep that excavator moving, but we need some energy. The only way to get some energy is to put some high numbered dice in this double room here. So let's start off by doing that. And of course it has a -3 in it. So if you put a 3 or lower, you get nothing. So you got to put some high dice in there. So I'm going to put my 4 and my 6, I think, because then I can max out my energy track. But let's start off by putting the 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll put the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for research, I want at least a 4. So maybe I will put this in research, and I'll try and do that as well. I have to re-roll these two. I'll put the 2 here. Get these 2 to move down onto this spot. And then the 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. So this ship here landed on the mothership symbol, which means that now my mothership goes down 1 row during my turn. But we don't actually perform the mothership action, so that's kind of good. So let's resolve our rooms. There's a lot going on in this one. And you can resolve the rooms in any order that you want. So first thing I'm going to do is I have 10 minus 3, so that's 7 energy. So my energy track is maxed. This die does nothing. This one here is going to cost me 1 energy, and I'm going to do damage to any number 6 and below, which is actually just this one. And now final die, it's going to cost 2 to do some research. And so because it's 4, I get 3 and 1. So now my research track, I've gone up 2. Mothership's turn, move down 1, nothing happens there. Prepare our ship in that column, and we go back to rolling some dice. So I want to excavate again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it. Let's use this one though for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's do some more research, but where should we do it? We need a minimum 3, 4. I could put a 4 or 5 here, but that would really shift those ships down. I could also put a 6 here. Try and attack. If I put a 6 here, this ship is going to attack me. So many hard decisions. Sometimes you got to take the hit. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, because it actually can't move over because there's already a ship in the other column. And 1, that's not going to move at all. These alien ships are getting close to my home base, so I will take some damage probably in the next turn. But let's resolve the rooms and see what we get. First, I'm going to excavate. And so now we are down here. And actually I can resolve both of these rooms, which gives me a count of 10. So I can move, no, because it's die by die. So first we'll move up 4. We'll do this room. We'll move up 4, 3, 4. And then we'll resolve this room, which costs us 2, and it can move up 6, but we have a 4 and a 1, so we can't go up this high, so we just move it to here. That's not bad. So in the next round, I'm going to need to get some more energy, and I'm going to have to try and get my research marker as high as possible because that mothership is moving down quickly. And so in this turn, it moves down, and I lose 1 with my excavator. So I can't even use that room yet. So what do I want for research? I can do a 6. If I could get 2 6s, I can move all the way up to here. But that's hard to do when this has a -1 on it. So I could do 1 6 in there, but then of course I lose that. So let's get some energy. We'll start off by making sure this guy doesn't attack us. Do a reroll. That'll end up just giving us a 5, so it'll just move here. But we need some energy first before we can do any of that. Ah. All right, we're gonna put 3 here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oof. I'm gonna put a 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna put a 1 here, which means they don't move. Awesome. And 1 here, which means they don't move. So this round, we're just gonna get some energy. Resolve our rooms. These do nothing. In this room now, we're only gonna get 6 energy because of course there's that -3. So let's move our marker up. And now we go to the mothership round. Oh, that action means we lose 1 count on our research track. But we have enough energy. There's no more losing excavators. So let's place the 2 here because we want to move this guy down. We will take 1 hit. Our health goes down by 1. So we need a 1 and then a 6. So let's put this here, take another hit, reroll these, and see if we're going to get a 6. And we did. That 6 will go here, take another hit. And 1 and a 4. Do that for 3. 1, 2, 3. And leave this one here. Not move that at all. And so to resolve it, first thing we're going to do is spend 1 for our excavator. Then we are going to spend 1, 2, 3. So first we'll do this one. We'll spend 1 here, and we'll move this up 1. Get these out of the way. Then we'll spend 2, and we'll move this up 6. So 3, 2, and 1. So now we're up here. Mothership shifts down. There's no action, but let's get these ships ready to deploy. So now that we have this double research room open, we can start to put high numbers of dice in there, and it only cost us 2, whereas before it would cost us 3. So if I could get 7, 10, total of 15, I could go up quite a bit. All right, what can we do? I also need some energy, but I'm going to use this room here. I'm going to put my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's put a 1 here so that doesn't move. Let's re-roll these, see if I can get a 10 of some sort. 11, not bad. 6 and 5. 1, 2, we get another hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof, this shifts down, but at least we don't lose that research. And then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then my last die here does nothing. So we get 6 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Max is out at 7. Doesn't matter. And then this is going to cost us 2. And we got 11. So let's go down 2. And we could do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can move it all the way up to there. Mothership goes down 1. They get another white ship. Go here. And this one will go here. I have 2 more turns left before the mothership will kill me. I think this turn I got to try and get 9. And then the next turn I got to try and get 11. So I will place a 5 here. Take another hit. Reroll these. Need to get a 4. I'll go for another 5. Take that hit. Ooh. 1. Yeah, I'll take the 3. Put that there. Reroll these 2. Yay. This is going to go down 1. And this will go down nothing. All right, resolve these rooms. Nothing. And then we spend 2. And we get 10. So that will move up 9. Mothership moves down 1. Reset there. Reset here. And this is it. This is our last chance. I'm going to do my duty as a human and try and defend the planet from these alien invaders, but I really don't think I can survive. After taking a closer look at this, I realized I'm totally out of luck and there's no way for me to win. As soon as I put a 5 or a 6 into this room here, this column will move down and I will lose that final health. I'm starting to feel a little hopeless, so I think I'm just going to end it. I don't really know what to say. I think I really kind of messed up that first round because I was just trying to show you what to do. And so I'm going to blame my loss on the fact that I was trying to teach you how to play this game. And because of that, I was distracted. I couldn't concentrate and use all of the parts of my brain to strategize enough to figure out how to defend the planet. There you have it. That's pretty much the rules and gameplay of your first couple of games of Under Falling Sky. As soon as you open this box and you set it up, this will be how it'll play out. But once you get confident enough and understand how it all works, that's when you can make things a bit more complicated. Flip over some of these tiles. You could also introduce the 2 blue dice, which are robot dice. So if you look at the back of this tile here, you'll see there are blue rooms. That's the robot room. I haven't tried using the blue dice yet because, as you can see, I'm not very good at this game. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to play it to win. I think I've only won a couple times, but like I said, I may have messed up the rules. So I know right when I started playing it, I did a few things wrong. I added up the research dice, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to resolve them independently of one another. I also, what was that I did? Oh yeah, I would place all the dice in the room first, and then I would move the ships down. But that kind of makes it a bit easier because you don't accidentally, move a ship to a different column and it gets in the way. I put them all down and then I chose which ships to move when, which is not how you're supposed to play it. So those are 2 things that might be common mistakes to other people, or maybe they were just mistakes that I made. But what I'm hoping is that I could play this and win it enough times. I guess if I play this 3 times in a row and I win, then I'll introduce the blue dice, then I'll move on to the campaign. And then I'll come back and make another video. So it might be in a few months or it might be in a few days, but that's going to be my personal challenge. Is I have to win 3 games in a row before I can move on. Obviously, I'm not the best human for the job when it comes down to defending our planet from an alien invasion, but the fact that I get to do it over and over again and lose as many times as I want and there's no real casualties means, hey, this is a pretty cool game. As you can see, the gameplay is pretty fast once you get going. Now, of course, if you want to contemplate every single one of your moves, it will take a bit longer. I kind of tried to speed through it just to get this video going and not make it that long. But there is a lot of gameplay packed in this little box. Just with the basic setup, the different towns you could protect, the different difficulties with the front and back of the tiles, and also the different rooms you could have, adding the blue dice. And down the road, once you get into the campaign, there's a lot going on with this game. I've seen it available in most shops for about 30 bucks Canadian, so it is a lot of value for your money. If this game has been on your radar for a while, I really suggest getting your hands on a copy. It's fun, fast, and totally enjoyable. There's a lot of strategy involved. Even though you're just rolling dice and trying to place them in different rooms, it takes a lot of thinking. And when you do manage to figure something out and get that marker up the track and win, it feels pretty good. Though you should get used to losing because I feel like more often than not, I lose this game. Hope you enjoyed hanging out, and I'll see you next time.